Hey everybody, BrickLover18 here today with an exclusive review of this very fake Mr. Gold Lego non-Lego minifigure. If you would have seen my April Fool's Day prank yesterday, I pretended to open up a real Mr. Gold on camera. I know this has probably been done before and it will probably be done again, but I've had this Mr. Gold since 2019. I forgot in 2020 to make this April Fool's Day video, so I knew I couldn't miss it out this year. But anyway, let's take a little bit closer look at this minifigure and, see how realistic it might be. Alright, so as you can see, this is what the figure looks like here in a little bit more close-up detail. It's going to be very hard to show this minifigure because it's very metallic gold and very shiny. And of course, here I'm at my studio where there's lots of lights. So of course, the metallic gold and the lights are not going to be very nice together. But as you can see, this is what it does look like. It is a completely fake minifigure I purchased from like $2 on eBay from China. So I know there's no chance that this is actually a real Mr. Gold. But let's just get right into it. As you can see, first step here, it comes on this base plate. This base plate is not Lego whatsoever. It doesn't even look like Lego. There's scratches and everything on it. The texture is all weird, and of course there is no Lego logo, but you can just see in the reflection there sort of how weird that texture and everything looks. Very odd, completely not Lego. Doesn't even feel like Lego when you're holding it, other if you like are a trained Lego expert. Here, of course, is the Mr. Gold, which you can see in a pretty decent detail right now. As you can see from the pants, they're pretty metallic. They're very, very shiny, and they look like standard minifigure pants. Honestly, the torso also looks pretty good. As you can see, it's very detail printed. There's a few little scratches on it that are really hard to see, and it looks like the printing's obviously not the highest quality. Same with the face, looks just like Mr. Gold, but as you can see, there are some scratches and just some blemishes on it, which obviously the real Mr. Gold would never have because it is so rare, but because this one's from China, it makes sense to have. It's also got the top hat up there, which looks really great as well. I love the gold and I love how shiny it is. Mr. Gold also has the staff that the real Mr. Gold would have, as you can see, with the rod and then the lightsaber piece and then the diamond right up here. There is just a little back printing on this model, as you can see, but overall it looks very, very similar to a real Mr. Gold. You wouldn't have any idea the difference if you didn't know that I told you this is fake. If you're just looking at it and I'm not actually touching really the minifigure, I bet you'd never be able to tell. And now I'm going to put a picture of the real Mr. Gold on the screen so you can get a better overview side by side of what these two look like. I probably also should have prefaced this review by saying I've never really seen a Mr. Gold minifigure in real life. I think maybe just once or twice. I believe I do have some footage here that I'll pull up from the time I saw it for sale at a Lego convention. However, I've never really held one or seen a side-by-side comparison. So this figure could be completely wrong, but to my understanding, it looks pretty correct. The other thing I wanted to mention in this review, of course, before I go, is I've said how good it looks. I said that with the exception of a few blemishes, it looks pretty real. When you actually touch this minifigure, you know it's not real. You can just feel it. I'll remove the staff here. First off, the staff was actually hard to get in this figure because the metallic, it's almost like they used Lego pieces and spray painted it, so obviously the width and stuff is not the same anymore. I'll take the diamond out, which you can't really tell. These pieces here are kind of where you can tell, and I don't know, maybe this is real for them real Mr. Gold as well, but the metallic is actually just covering the regular pieces here, as you can see from the tip there. So there is the tip left, so you can easily put the lightsaber part on it without actually impacting the use of it. And again, I don't know if that's the same for the Mr. Gold minifigure, but to me that's a pretty obvious telltale sign that it's not using metallic plastic, it's just metallic paint. And like I said, this staff was actually hard to get in the minifigure hand because of how tight it is. Of course, moving on to the actual minifigure now, like I said when I first opened it up, this minifigure is incredibly hard to take apart. So the pants come off really easy. The arms barely move, like they're so tight, they're so hard to move, as you can see. I'm putting a lot of force on that just to get it to bend a little. The top hat doesn't want to ever come off as well. Oh, and instead of actually just getting the top hat off like I wanted to, I took the whole head off because I cannot get just the head and the top hat separated because they're pretty much so wedged in there with the printed parts. But as you can see, this is what the torso looks like here, the non-metallic at the very top. There is no Lego logo or anything like that on it. It is very plain and very boring. And as you can see, this is what it's looking like on the inside. I was going to have the torso try and stand up straight, but as you can see, I can't even bend the arms because it is so tight and it is so hard. But overall, these pieces are definitely not meant to be real Lego. You can tell just by feeling and touching them. It looks good from a distance, but up close, you can just tell they're not real Lego. They're not even meant to be Lego. It's pretty fake. This is a great minifigure for a joke or something like that, but it's just not well done enough that you could pass off as a real Mr. Gold, which is good because if you don't actually have the real Mr. Gold, I don't really know why you'd want to pass it off. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool figure. It was a lot of fun to get and make this review video on, and of course make yesterday's April Fool's Day joke. And overall, I'm pretty happy with my $2 purchase. You know, you can't go wrong with a $2 fake minifigure of Mr. Gold. This one's definitely going on my shelf. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe. I'm not in the habit of making review videos of fake Lego minifigures, so you don't have to worry. And of course, if you haven't checked out yesterday's April Fool's Day prank, definitely go do that now because I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I think it was pretty funny. But anyway, thanks again so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.